Good day, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that might surprise you: onions. For many, onions are a staple, adding flavor and nutrients to our meals. But did you know that there are actually some people who might benefit from avoiding them? That's right. While onions have great health benefits, they can cause issues for certain groups. In this video, we'll go over who should avoid onions and the scientific reasons behind it. So make sure you stick around to the end, because that's when the juicy stuff comes in. Before we get into who should avoid onions, let's talk a little bit about what makes them so unique. Onions contain a mix of powerful compounds like fructans, a type of fiber that can ferment in the digestive system, and sulfur compounds known for anti-inflammatory benefits, but can also cause irritation for some people. These give onions their distinctive smell and taste, but also impact the body in various unique ways. These compounds provide many of the health benefits we hear about, like reducing inflammation and boosting immune function. However, for certain people, these compounds can create digestive, allergic, and even hormonal issues. Let's explore who should avoid onions and why. The first group that might want to steer clear of onions are those with irritable bowel syndrome, also known as IBS. If you have IBS, you probably know how tough certain foods can be on your digestive system. Onions contain fructans, a type of carbohydrate that can be difficult for some people to digest, especially with those IBS or other digestive sensitivities. Broken down by gut bacteria, causing gas, bloating, and discomfort. In fact, studies show that high fructan foods like onions are among the biggest triggers for digestive distress in people with IBS. According to research from the American Journal of Gastroenterology, about 60% of people with IBS report significant discomfort after consuming foods high in fructans. If this sounds like you, avoiding onions might help reduce bloating as well as discomfort. Next, let's talk about allergies and sensitivities. Though rare, onion allergies do exist and can lead to symptoms like itching, rashes, or even breathing difficulties. For some people, onions can trigger sensitivities rather than full-blown allergies, leading to similar symptoms. Onion allergies are due to proteins within the onion that trigger an immune response. But even people without a full allergy can still experience sensitivity due to these proteins and sulfur compounds. For eczema sufferers, onions may release histamines that increase itching or redness. If your skin is prone to inflammation, consider reducing your onion intake and observe if your skin improves. It's always a good idea to consult a healthcare provider if you think you might be sensitive to onions. Next up, people with acid reflux. For people who suffer from acid reflux or GERD, onions might be a no-go. Onions, especially when eaten raw, can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, which is the muscle that keeps stomach acid from moving upward into the esophagus. A study published in Digestive Diseases and Sciences found that raw onions increased heartburn symptoms for people with chronic acid reflux. If you struggle with heartburn, cutting back on onions, especially raw ones, may help you tremendously. Another group that might need to be cautious with onions are people with low blood sugar or hypoglycemia. Onions have a natural blood sugar lowering effect, which is generally beneficial, but it could potentially drop blood sugar levels too low in people with hypoglycemia. A study in Phytotherapy Research showed that the sulfur compounds in onions can improve insulin sensitivity, which is beneficial for those with diabetes, but may be problematic for people with already low blood sugar. Consuming large quantities of onions could increase the risk of hypoglycemic episodes for those with sensitive blood sugar levels. People with low blood sugar should monitor their levels closely if they consume onions regularly. Moving on to the next one. People with chronic migraine or headaches. Here's one that may surprise you. People who suffer from chronic migraines or headaches may want to avoid onions in general because they contain compounds that can trigger migraines in certain people. Onions release sulfurous compounds when cut or chewed, and these compounds release a gas that can be an irritant. For sensitive individuals, this could lead to a neurological response like a headache or even trigger a severe migraine. Some studies have showed that foods high in volatile sulfur compounds, such as onions, can stimulate the trigeminal nerve, potentially leading to headache onset. If you're prone to migraines, cutting back on onions could reduce one of those triggers for you. Next up, people with hormonal imbalances, such as thyroid or estrogen-sensitive conditions. For those with hormonal imbalances, such as thyroid conditions or estrogen-sensitive conditions, onions may be problematic as well. The sulfur compounds in onions interact with iodine, which can impact thyroid function, and they may also influence estrogen metabolism. Sulfur-containing foods like onions can interfere with the iodine absorption in the thyroid, which is crucial for thyroid hormone production. This can be problematic for people with thyroid disorders. Additionally, onions have mild phytoestrogenic effects, which may exacerbate symptoms for individuals with estrogen-sensitive conditions like endometriosis or breast cancer. If you have a thyroid disorder or an estrogen-sensitive condition, it might be worth moderating your intake of onions. And last but not least, people with blood clotting disorders or those on blood-thinning medications may want to be cautious with onions as well. Because of the sulfur compounds that they contain, they can have a blood-thinning effect. For most people, this is harmless or even beneficial, but for people taking anticoagulant medications, it could increase the risk of bleeding. Always talk to your doctor if you're on blood-thinning medication and are concerned about foods like onions impacting your health. So, while onions are a nutritious addition for most people, if you fall into any of these categories, whether it's IBS, sensitivity, acid reflux, or blood clotting issues, you might want to consider cutting back a bit. Remember, there are plenty of alternatives such as garlic, chives, scallions, and those all may offer similar flavors and many fewer issues. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Welcome back. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more health insights. Please let us know in the comments if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover. We'd love to work together. See you all next time. And remember, we make these videos so you can better your health and therefore better yourself. Enjoy, everyone. Be well.